So the idea behind notclass is that rather than having AI tell you what is the right way of doing things, you simulate your own thinking. You see your own thinking through a simulation and you compare it to reality. Therefore, you would be able to understand what you did wrong or right. First, we have one part of notclass, which is this library of problems. Let's choose this one, for example. And then we're asked to make a prediction. Let's just say that I would think that the ball won't move. It will stay in place. So I have my prediction and I have the animation. We can now go on and compare the two. So based on my prediction, the ball stays in the same place. Based on the animation, the ball is moving, and you can see that the speed is changing. It's about 5 meters per second at its highest, and then it drops and it changes and it oscillates. So this is one example of a problem, and there are a lot of template problems in here. But this is not everything. We also have the predict page. Now, this predict feature is a bit more fancy. Why? Because you can take a picture of any problem from your textbook and you will see the AI simulating that problem. Then you can take a picture of your own homework and how you solved it, and it will be simulating your own mental model, your own thinking. If you have some equations there which are wrong, it will simulate them and you'll see how wrong looks like. So you can either scan the QR code and just take a picture of the problem from your textbook, or you can just type it in here. This is our problem, and I just hit start. And now here is our simulation. Just like with the previous example, you just give your own work and you see how your wrong kind of physics simulates here. So what you have seen is a previous version of notclass that has been finished a few weeks ago. I've given it to a few peers of mine who are studying engineering to test it out, and after their feedback, notclass did change quite a bit, to be fair. But I just wanted to show you the progress and explain to you what am I trying to actually do with this application, because I think most people think of education as a problem of accessibility, when in truth it just comes down to helping people create things. So we need more tools to create with. When Steve Jobs referred to the bicycle for the mind, I think he referred to something different from what we actually inferred. Because what is a bicycle? A bicycle, it's truthfully a tool of learning. If you think about it, you just tweak something in the way you ride the bicycle. So you tweak something into your input, you instantaneously get an output, which then changes your model of how you think you should ride the bicycle. And you do this iteratively until you start riding the bicycle very well. And you learn it intuitively. The point is, you have to shorten the feedback loop so much to the point where, I mean, first of all, you have to make it easy for you to try things out. So with a bicycle, it's quite easy to tweak something because you just tweak it and you try riding it again and you see what happens. And that's what a computer did for most people. That's why we have so many programmers. The computer was the bicycle for the mind in the sense that testing something out and changing your internal mental model of how you think the code or the program or the computer should work, changing that was quite simple. It didn't require too much effort. You just had to try. And in the same way, we have to think of education as how do we make testing things out so simple and so cheap with almost no consequences, to the point where you just test them out. Because riding a bicycle has very small negative consequences. The worst that can happen is you might fall. That's it. So either way, that's not class in the previous version. In the next videos, I'm gonna show you how did not class change, but the mission stays the same. How can we make learning happen faster in a way that doesn't mean showing people the right answer, but just helping them see their wrong mental models and helping them go through that iterative loop as fast as possible. It's not about trying to go through this like a marathon. It's mostly about making the process more enjoyable, because when you see the progress, when you see how your learning actually shapes, you start liking it more. So, without any further ado, that was it pretty much for the update. Thank you for following along.